Hi, thanks for checking out this week's episode of History of Popcorn. Just wanted to give a little notice that we had some sound issues on this episode. The audio will be a lot different than what you're hearing right now, but thank you for listening again. We hope you enjoy this episode of History of Popcorn where we talk about Jordan Peele, Emma Stone, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and so much more.
We're gonna do Harry Potter! Do it! DC's not working anymore! Space Jam 2! Space Jam 2! Sorry, I had a Warner Bros. Freak out for a moment.
Got a new Supergirl. Did you see the Supergirl? The new Supergirl?
Oh yeah, you texted me that. Who is the new Supergirl?
Her name is Sasha Callie. She's from The Young and Restless. She's on from the soap opera.
Oh, the Young.
Don't. I know you're like, oh no, but look, if you look her up, you'll be very surprised and be like, this is our Supergirl. She's going to be in the Flash movie. She's officially attached to the Flash movie from Andy Muschietti, who did It and Mama, but he's directing the Flash movie.
Ooh.
Yes. She's going to be a Supergirl. I don't know if she's going to be only a in-universe Supergirl of the Flash and never appear in future movies or like one movie deal. But it's interesting to see what the cast is already growing to. So the Flash has Supergirl, two Batmans, and the Flash right now. Those are the official superheroes right now.
Is Ezra Miller still the Flash?
Yes.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah, I thought they could have cast someone better too.
Yeah, I was not a fan of his dopiness and Justice League. But hey, we're getting the new one, so maybe he's not.
Maybe he's a lot different. Maybe those were all reshoots and made him stupid.
I'm sure.
Joss Whedon shoots.
Yeah, good old Josh Whedon. He's doing really good right now, I've heard.
This next movie is Untitled, but we all know the director and writer, Jordan Peele. He directed Us and Get Out.
The great Get Out. Fantastic movie.
We've got some official news that makes his film officially just one step closer to reality. He has his two leads in his film. It's Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer is said to be the main head star, top billed.
Nice. I love Keke Palmer. Daniel Kaluuya is Get Out, right?
Yeah, formerly from Get Out, from his debut.
Awesome.
What other director-actor would you compare them to? Yes, this is only their second film, but what other actor-director duo do you think Daniel Kaluuya and Jordan Peele could end up being like in the future based on trajectory?
Scorsese and De Niro, Scorsese and DiCaprio, Scorsese.
Who would Spielberg's actor be?
Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, Tom Hanks is probably Tom Hanks.
Yeah, old Tommy boy. Yeah, they did Castaway and Saving Private Ryan, and
they produce a lot of stuff together. But yeah, there's not much known about Jordan Peele's movie as of right now. Everything it's being released under his 5-year deal with Universal, which released his first 2 movies, and I believe he's going to release another one after this. But right now, the only thing that's listed for his movie is Untitled Horror Event. It's not film, it's horror event. And it comes out July 22nd, 2022. That's a lot of twos.
That is a lot of twos. What did you think of? I love Get Out. What did you think of Us?
I liked Us a lot.
I think Us was M. Night Shyamalan's best movie. That's how I saw it when I first watched it. I was like, this feels like the M. Night Shyamalan comeback everyone's been wanting, because it has that dumb twist.
Yeah, and the ending sticks it to it of sticking it of like, we're sticking with this twist.
Yeah, which I kind of saw coming. I was like hoping, like, oh, please don't do that. And then they did it. I was like, okay. But Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic. Yeah, I'm interested in this. I like Jordan Peele, even though like I wasn't a big fan of Us. Get Out is still like one of my favorite movies of all time, because I love movies where you can't really pinpoint what it is. He tackles so many different things, and gets so many great performances too. I like the cast that he has. I do trust him as a wacky, crazy director. I trust him as a writer and director to deliver something batshit insane. Even if I'm not a big fan, I can walk out of the theater and be like, whew, that was an experience.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a very confident voice, and it's going to show. I like that about Jordan Peele. Our next story is going to be one for them, one for me sort of situation, in my opinion, because we're going to be talking about Emma Stone, and she's got a big project coming out that's been talked about everywhere called Cruella. The trailer dropped, and it's going to be out in theaters, I believe. I don't think that's going to be out on Disney Plus yet. I think they're sticking to its theaters release, which is interesting. But Cruella.
Yeah, I think it's probably gonna end up being on Disney Plus. I was very weirded out by this. I was very, very weirded out by it because it looks like, for some reason, Disney was like, we're beating Warner Bros. Right now. We're beating everybody. But what if we made Cruella Batman and like Harley Quinn? Because there's literally a scene where bats are flying in a building. What am I watching right now? If this was made by a different studio and they took stuff like elements from 101 Dalmatians and the Cruella character, then this could be fucking awesome. But it coming from Disney, I think it's I don't know what they're trying to do. Like there's a scene where she lights her dress on fire and she has another dress. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I feel like they try to pull a whole Maleficent scene there where Maleficent literally does the same thing, but it's like the thing they did with Maleficent, they made you understand Maleficent in a different way. I don't think this movie is supposed to, and it kind of redeems Maleficent in a way. I don't think Cruella is going to redeem Cruella de Vil.
No, she wants to kill dogs. That's another thing that's kind of strange. Like in 101 Dalmatians, she's a bitch, like she's just a crazy a bitch. But in this, she seems like an evil, just flat out evil and despicable, and it's just really strange.
I don't know how it's going to be enjoyable to watch. I don't seem interested. I'm not interested in the characters, so I don't seem interested in the movie. But I liked the way it looked. That's why I might watch this movie because of the director. The director did a movie called he did I, Tonya. He also did Lars and the Real Girl and Mr. Woodcock.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, I love how he started this off by doing Mr. Woodcock.
Yeah, Sean William Scott, Minnesota Man.
Yeah, I, Tonya is fantastic. I, Tonya is like truly one of my probably on the top 100 movies for me.
I think that's because Disney can't go wrong with paying very good directors and affording very good directors. It's just a matter of the stories they're telling now. They're starting to rehash it.
Yeah, Disney's. I'm not, man. I do not like what Disney's doing, man. Like especially with their remakes. Like this one, it's not even really a remake. It's just a pointless. Yeah, it's a pointless ass prequel. But I wonder if I don't know. Like it's just Disney has been making some weird decisions where it's like you are the biggest company of all time right now. You bought out another huge company. Why do you feel the need to keep rehashing the same thing over and over and over again? Like they bought out 20th Century Fox, and then they were like, "Oh well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna remake Cheap by the Dozen." Like what the fuck, dude? Just do something original. It's like they're lucky that they have Pixar, but even Pixar has been doing that with like Toy Story 4 and Monsters University. It's like, why are you guys resorting to these nothing sequels and prequels that nobody asked for?
I'll watch Cruella because it looks pretty. I don't understand the story. I didn't see 101 Dalmatians, any of them, not even the live action ones. But I just don't understand, why they would make it. But the cool thing about Emma Stone is she's going to do one for the studios and one for herself. She's working with the director who made The Favorite again. They're reuniting for a movie that's a female Frankenstein.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Not the bride. She's going to be the actual Frank. It's called Poor Things. It sounds very dark. It sounds super dark, actually. Poor Things focuses on Bella, who drowned herself in order to escape her abusive husband, but was subsequently resurrected when her brain was replaced by that of the unborn child she was carrying.
Ooh,
it sounds super gritty, but this is Emma Stone, or one for the studios and one for her.
Well, she seems like, even though Cruella, we don't know what the fuck that's going to be, she does seem like she's having a good time. She doesn't seem like she's phoning it in at all. I just hope, what if this is Disney's first R-rated movie? Like they really went like full out. Yeah, if they did that, I'd be interested.
Here's our next story. It was a movie from the 1947s, about 47, I believe. 1947 was the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But we're getting another Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but this one's a TV series on Amazon. And it's produced and starring Phoebe Waller-Bridger and Donald Glover, who are both attached now to the Amazon company. They both have signed big deals, and so we're going to be getting a lot of content from them.
I am down for anything Donald Glover, even though he was in Solo and The Lion King.
Phoebe Waller-Bridger was also in Solo. She was the voice of the robot.
Yeah.
That's where they met. So something good came out of that. We got this out of it.
What show is she in? She's in Fleabag, right?
Yes, that is a very good show that I would recommend on Amazon.
I watched the first episode because I was very nervous because I wrote a script called Scumbag. I was like, "Fuck me, what is this shit?"
Mm-hmm. I read your script first before I watched that show, so I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, they copied him, but they're entirely different, which is cool.
No, this is gonna be this should be awesome, and yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie one. I did love the scene where they're dancing and she puts the bomb in his jacket. He throws it in the mailbox. He's like, "No, move!" But this could be good though because it's a TV show and they can really flesh out these characters. And I think just anything with Donald Glover, like we just need more of him because he really is an awesome.
And we are getting more of him because he just left his FX deal, which is producing the show Atlanta. He just left that deal for Amazon, and Amazon is giving him his own basic channel, which he can produce other TV shows on that are going to be all under Donald Glover. And he has this whole team now that's going to be working with Amazon. Donald Glover enlisted Malia Obama to be a part of to be a voice in the writing team behind the scenes.
It's already a great, interesting platform. I love what Amazon's done. Have you actually seen, speaking of Donald Glover and Amazon, have you seen Guava Island?
Yes. Yeah, it's basically like a short visual album. It's not it's a weird in-between thing.
I thought that was fucking amazing. I was so pissed when it ended because I didn't realize how short it was. And once it ended, I was like, "There's no way that's it." And it ended up being it.
I think that was a big reference of what was success for them to sign a bigger deal with Donald Glover because it is very good, and I would recommend it if you like Donald Glover, his music. If you like Rihanna, her music.
Yeah, Rihanna was even good in
it. Even good, surprisingly good in it. Huh.
Yeah, because I mean, I remember her in Battleship, and I was like, "No, stop this."
I kind of watched Battleship. I went to see Battleship on a date.
Hell yeah, Elijah.
We didn't really watch it though. We stayed in the little emergency exit thing. But her dad apparently was in the same theater area and was like, "Hey, how's the movie? How's the movie?" And kept texting, "How's Battleship?" And yeah, I remember just thinking, it's weird we have a Battleship movie.
How's the Battleship movie?
You were speaking of originality or original ideas before with Disney and all of its properties and everything, but one of the kings of originality, Tim Burton, is revisiting an old thing that he's already done, which is he's making a Netflix live-action series of Wednesday Addams.
Everyone's been talking about Tim Burton doing Addams Family with Johnny Depp.
I did hear rumors of that. Yeah.
So I'm curious. I bet money that Johnny Depp is going to appear in this because they haven't revealed who's going to be Wednesday yet, huh?
No, I think she's definitely going to be a new face, and I don't think it's going to be Chloe Moretz who played the voice of her in the 3D movie. But I mean, I don't think it could be her live action, but I don't know who it would be. Probably a new face.
I guess if Tim Burton directs all the episodes,
I don't think he will. I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like something he's just going to produce and direct maybe a couple.
Maybe the pilot and be like, "This is what it's going to look like," and then everyone else has to just mimic him.
Yeah,
which is probably possible, which a lot of TV shows just do, unless it's very good. Like David Fincher directed all of his episodes of Mindhunter, which is smart.
And it's just weird. It's a weird decision for Netflix to make. But then again, it's Netflix, and they say yes to fucking anything.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out, it's canceled within 2 days. But
yeah, exactly.
But I know these properties are super big and they want to try to keep them alive so they can keep making money off them. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Tim Burton revisiting stuff like this anymore, because he was the king of originality, and I feel like we're losing. Maybe this is another one of the, like, I really like to say one for the studio and one for them, but I don't know what could come out of something like this of originality where Tim Burton's coming back, because there's also rumors that he's making another Beetlejuice, which I still haven't seen as well. But
You never seen Beetlejuice?
no, but Tim Burton's originality, are we losing his originality because everything's is just kind of his image now?
Yeah, his last good movie, which I was shocked that he directed, was Big Eyes.
Oh yeah, that's because it was a different direction.
Yeah, no, it was really good because he used that
It was less stripes.
Edward Scissorhands type of imagery.
That was one for the studio, one for him.
Yeah, Miss Peculiar's home for X-Men that are not X-Men was just strange. Yeah, he has not been good. And it sucks because when I was a kid, Tim Burton was my all-time favorite. Mm-hmm. I love Sleepy Hollow. Big Fish is great.
Yeah, Big Fish is one of my favorites. Mars Attack.
His Batman movies are some of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Edward Scissorhands, fuck man, like he's done some really, really great movies, and it sucks that he's just such a cliche of himself now. You can just tell that he's tired, that he's just like, I don't want to do anything anymore.
Good. He's got some traveling museums though, which is pretty cool. I think he's going to be around for a long time, but he's not going to be producing.
I don't know, because it just seems like he lost his spark.
He's got an eye, but he doesn't have the stories anymore.
Yeah, and he doesn't have. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Let's see. Are you familiar? Do you watch the Paranormal Activity movies? Have you seen any of them?
I remember seeing the first one in the theater. I think I saw the second one at someone's house. Saw the third one in the theater. Seen I think I saw a Ghost Dimension or some shit like that at a girl's house. The first one I thought was I remember when I first saw it, I was like, dude, this is boring as hell.
I didn't like it at the time. It didn't really scare me too bad. And then the later ones came out and I was like, oh, they're trying to get creative with this. And I started to see the later ones. Like I saw a trailer for the fourth one, and the actress from the fourth one, that girl came in and she like just sat down, and then when the trailer came on, she just got up, and like when the trailer ended, she just got up and laughed, and she was like, oh my God, freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, that was her. And I like connected it like a little bit later because she only came in the theater to watch her trailer debut and then leave. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, and then I remember seeing the fourth one later, and I was like, these movies are all kind of the same now. But so by the fourth one, I was like, these movies are dead. But they made like two more after that, or like one more, which was, they kind of made different, which they changed the setting a lot. But we're getting another Paranormal Activity, but this one's kind of a reboot sequel.
Of course.
Thing about Paranormal Activity is it was Blumhouse's like first major film. Yeah. Like they were still, well, it was an independent film. It was only in LA and New York for a while, and then it got big distribution.
Yeah, it made Jason Blum a household name.
Yeah, now he's the king of horror right now. Like he's our go-to for horror, I think, production-wise, I think. And he's been sitting on the property of Paranormal Activity for a while. They joined Blumhouse Productions a while ago, but they got a very interesting writer and director attached to this new one, which perked my ears up to maybe revisit them. The Paranormal Activity is, the director's name is the writer's name. I'll go with the writer. His name is, he's Christopher Landon. He wrote Freaky, and he wrote Happy Death Day to You. Oh, that's the sequel. He wrote Disturbia. Yeah, he also wrote a couple of the other Paranormal Activities, but he's returning.
Freaky is great. If he makes it more like Freaky, where it's like it has a sense of humor, because that's the thing I hate about Paranormal Activity, is that it's just so, it's like, no pun intended, it's lifeless.
Yeah, it's just flat.
It's like, yeah, there's like no comedy, there's no relatability. It's always like even the first one, like it's not just that they're haunted, they're also their relationship is falling apart. It's like, dude, this is not, why are 12-year-olds going to see this?
With this new one, did you see the movie Underwater with Kristen Stewart?
I did not.
That was one of my favorite movies of 2020 because of its visual, the way it looked. It reminded me of Alien, and it was super, super frightening. So I'm excited that they have him attached to the new Paranormal Activity movie. His name is William Eubank. He's still a very young director, and I think he's going to be very good with Blumhouse. And I'm going to very interested to see how his Paranormal Activity movie works, because it's kind of going to be a soft reboot. So maybe it's not found footage anymore in the way of security cameras and stuff. I think they revamp.
That would be the smartest way to go for if they're going to reboot this or do another movie, is to not have it be found footage, because found footage is dead.
I'm excited about Paranormal Activity. I don't know when that comes out yet, but speaking of horror and continuations and reboots and stuff, we're getting another Predator movie. But this one is supposedly taking place during like way before colonization, and it's going to follow a native tribe. I think it's very exciting because the director is Dan Trachtenberg, who did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh yeah.
They got him attached, and it's Disney, so they're going to be it's going to be well funded.
Yeah.
But it's the 20th Century Fox movies, so Disney doesn't really care about that, because it's not like they're not going to market it, really. They're not going to be putting it on their stuff. So it's 20th Century Fox release, which is going to be really, I think, less restricted in the way of people thinking Disney owning Predator now.
Did you see the last one, The Predator?
Yeah, I wanted to like it a lot.
Dude, that was the funniest movie of that year. I was surprised.
It was really funny.
I was surprised at how much I laughed at that. It's something that I really did wish Shane Black would stop getting jerked around by studios. Because whenever he does movies that he wants, they're fucking great. You get Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys. But sometimes when he's just there for a quick buck, you get Iron Man 3 and whatever the fuck the Predator was. The Predator was so strange.
I think they made that mistake, and they learned their lesson from Shane Black. Unfortunately, Shane Black was the person who had to deal with it. But now, kind of like what they're doing with Suicide Squad, is the studio messed it up with David Ayer, but they're like, oh, that was really messed up, and which shows, and everyone knows it's the studio's fault now, basically. And then they gave it James Gunn the movie, and they're like, yeah, do whatever you want. We won't interfere at all, because when we interfere, no one liked it. So do what you want to do with Suicide Squad. And I think they're going to do that with Predator.
I remember when that was announced that James Gunn was doing the Suicide Squad, and me and Patrick got in a really, really heated argument about that, because I was like, he's literally, instead of just doing something original and doing something different, he's doing the same fucking thing with different characters. And Patrick was like, it's James Gunn, it's gonna be great. That's not seeing like the little footage of that looks like it could be really good. And that's something I think the Predator needs. Like if someone like James Gunn can do something like that, or Phil Lord and Chris Miller, these guys who know how to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mention their name.
You're gonna mention them in every single episode.
Every single episode, I'm gonna have to talk about either Nicolas Cage or Phil Lord and Chris Miller. But if that's what Predator needs. Like, because I think the Predator, they were going in the right direction, where they're like, we're not going to take this seriously anymore, which I think is totally fine to be self-aware. Like when they're talking about like naming it the Predator, and they're like, he's not a predator. I forgot how they said it, but that was like, you see, like, okay, this could have been really, really funny and really, really good. And instead, it was just really, really funny and just wacky. But hey Duke, my dog's being weird. I think the ghosts are getting to him. Anyways, I don't know. Like I just, it's just like whenever they do a Terminator movie or another Alien movie, it's just something that it's lost its substance fucking a decade ago. It's not interesting anymore.
The concept of those characters, because they're all based on the antagonist, the monster. The thing that they have to nail is the people that it's attacking, or the people that we follow. And the new Predator, it's technically read as Predator 5, so I don't know where it falls in canon or anything. I guess if that's a thing, a Predator. But it follows the story of Key, a Comanche woman who goes under, who wants to become a warrior, but she's not supposed to in that time. And her brother, who's younger than him, his name's Tab, and he's supposed to be a leader, but he's not becoming one. So basically, she's going to be protecting her younger brother, while the Predator comes during this time, which I think has never been seen. Obviously, I actually heard about this movie a year and a half ago, and I didn't know about it because me and my sister auditioned for Tab and Key, which are the main two characters. We auditioned for that a year and a half ago, but we didn't know it was for Predator. It was Untitled Disney adventure thing. I didn't know what we were doing, but I was like very excited that they were coming out with a native project. And I thought it was something smaller because usually me and my sister, we get like native roles sent to us all the time, but they're usually smaller roles. But this one was like, oh, a big one. And I remember we both auditioned for it. I didn't take it too seriously because I'm not trying to be the actor. My sister is. She's going to be on a TV near you. But yeah, I remember hearing about this and I was like, that's cool that they're coming out with these voices. And I'm excited that it's going to be on a big property like this. I think the characters that are built around these franchises have to be something that's crazy, something that's super, especially if it's something like Predator. Like you have to care about the people. Like what you said is Shane Black is like the people you were in it were just good. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you care about Keegan Michael Key and in the Predator and all those characters. And I hope Predator and Dan Trachtenberg choose good people for this new Predator movie because that movie has a lot of potential. I think this last one is just a little, I think, a smaller project. It's our last story. It's Joaquin Phoenix and Ari Aster are doing a movie together. Joaquin Phoenix recently played the Joker, and Ari Aster made 2 films with A24 called Midsummer and Hereditary.
I saw Hereditary, but I did not see Midsummer because the length. I just like I saw it was like over 2.5 hours long, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I still to this day, it's on my list, and every single time I click it, I'm like, damn,
it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I saw that movie on a pre-screening at this theater, and I had to like fill out a survey thing and be like, how did this movie feel? Would it feel too long and stuff? It was very long. And I didn't know how. I was one of those movies that I couldn't fill out the thing after. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this movie because it was this follow up to Hereditary.
Yeah, Hereditary is fucking crazy. Toni Collette really got snubbed of that. I was shocked when she was not nominated.
Gut wrenching terror and dread in that performance. Yeah.
And fucking little Alex Wolff, Naked Brothers Band.
Alex Wolff is he's becoming one of my favorite actors. He's the lead in M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Old. And he's also doing a movie with Nicolas Cage where he steals Nicolas Cage's pig and Nicolas Cage goes after him for revenge. I can't wait till they start doing promotion for that. But Ari Aster and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that's an interesting, that's a good duo right there.
This movie is called Disappointment Boulevard. There's not much known about it except it's rumored that it's going to take place over decades and follow like one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time. Disappointment Boulevard. Ari Aster has made these gut-wrenching horrors. Joaquin Phoenix, who can do these performances like nothing. I don't know what to expect out of this.
I think that it could be really good. Joaquin Phoenix is definitely one of my favorite actors.
Is it going to be a horror? Do you think it's a horror movie?
I hope not. I hope it's like a horror like I think of like Get Out, you know, where it's like,
I was kind of thinking Requiem for a Dream like.
Yeah.
Almost just heavy.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that would be really cool because Ari Aster is a good director, but I want to see him do something else. I want it to just be another. That's why I wasn't really interested when I saw the trailer for Midsummer.
It's basically it's Hereditary in the daylight. It's just like with
college kids, more sex. So that's why I was like, I'm interested because of Joaquin Phoenix, though, of course, because he's really one of the best. Even though his Joker performance, at first when I saw it, I was like, damn, he's fantastic. And then the second time I saw it, I was just seeing like the flaws.
You were standing next to Todd Phillips holding the camera, just like,
yeah, Todd. Hey, Todd, come over here. What you doing?
What's going on here?
Yeah. Hey, put down the Scorsese book. Okay. I'm sure that he just went like when he gave his script to Todd Phillips gave the script to Warner Bros. For the Joker. It was actually just Taxi Driver, and he just crossed off Travis and put Joker.
Just crossed it out of certain names.
And they were like, "Can his name be Arthur?" He was like, "Sure."
I'm excited for this movie, but that's like all we can really say about that movie. Is there's not much. That's all that's really out about it, that might not even be official too, because the Studio A24 that Ari Aster is a part of hasn't even officially confirmed it, but it's basically talked about everywhere. You did your homework, right? Did you do your homework?
Yes, I did, Elijah. My God, I watched another round, and yeah, no, that movie hit me like a ton of bricks, Elijah. I related to it so much. It was scary. Like there were moments in it where I was like, dude, I have done that exact same thing, and I've been in plenty of situations like it. Of course, like they're a lot older, but another round is the story of these teachers who are doing this experiment to see because they're going off of someone's theory that if you have a 0.5% alcohol content in your blood system, that you become basically a better version of you. And then
more
as
confident,
they're doing
just
it,
loose.
yeah. And as they're doing it, they're like, well, why not kick it up a notch? Like when Winston Churchill and all these guys, they were drunks and they were these powerful people, and they got their shit done. And at first they're like doing like we drink in the daytime while we're at work, but once it's at 8 o'clock, we stop. But then they go a little off the rails. It was fantastic. I thought it was funny as fuck in certain areas, and the ending is just so satisfying. Like I haven't seen a movie so satisfying like this in quite some time, because it could have gone a total dark route, but the movie has so much life in it.
The bittersweet ending in the most like precious way.
Yeah, and it's not like saying like it's like there's a message to it 100%, but it's not a clear message, you know? And that's not a bad thing at all. It's like
I don't think anyone will get the same thing out of it either. Not really, because there's just so much to it. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, no, there and the performances were so fucking good. The scene that I oh my god, like my jaw was to the floor because I was like, dude, this is like literally like beat by beat. I've been here. When they're getting the fresh cod and they're just all drunk in the grocery store.
Yeah, it looked like they're having so much fun.
And that drink, oh my god, the absinthe drink. I was like, I need that in my life. That looks fucking delicious. I just love how the movie didn't talk down to me. You know, it didn't like. I just love how it's not really saying that these guys are right or wrong, because there is a truth to what they're saying. That it and it was something that I never even realized, but it's. I'm not saying that's right or you know it's correct, but it totally is like a like that two drink limit. Then you'll have all that confidence. You'll be that person. There's some truth to it. It's a dangerous truth, but like that's how that's why people become alcoholics and stuff. But it was fantastic, and the director did a fucking great job at in the cinematography too. Like they did a great job of focusing on them in a certain way when they're drunk, where everything around them is very, very blurry, and the way that they're looking at things, the way the camera just kind of sways, but still focuses on certain things, was just perfecto.
Yeah, and I love how they have all the different teachers. Like they have a music teacher, a PE teacher, a history teacher, and they all are dealing with it in different ways. Like the PE teachers, he's not as active for these kids, and it shows. But with the music teacher, it's like he sees more of the beauty in the music that the kids are making. And with history, he's understanding differently, like perspectives of leaders. And it's just so weird how the commentary of just like where you're at is a big effect of something that you go through. Something will happen to you that it could deal with everyone. Everyone can deal with it differently. And this movie nails it in such a good way of, you just want to see what happens to everyone. You care about everybody in that movie.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Every single character is beautiful, and like the way that they interact with each other too, especially towards the end. Like that last scene is one of the most beautiful endings I've seen in a really, really long time.
Because it ends at a graduation for their students, correct?
Yeah, and oh my god, it's just so it just hits you. It just hits you so hard. And
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a good movie. The music at that part is so good at the end.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
my god, yeah, and his dancing. I was like, dude, I hope he can sing, and I hope he's gonna be in a musical soon because that was fucking amazing.
yeah, Hannibal
Um,
Lecter. Who knew? TV's Hannibal Lecter.
yeah, dude, yeah. What's his name? Mods Milkinson.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. Also the bad guy in Charlie Countryman. Bad guy in Charlie
Yeah,
Countryman.
yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, I love this the my favorite scene is when he is really fucking hammered and he goes into the teacher's lounge and he's just like swaying around and no one realizes what like how drunk he's like no one's even looking at him besides the main guys and you're
Mhm.
thinking like oh my god is he gonna get caught he's gonna get caught and then he's like walking out the door you're like oh well, sweet and then he just fucking busts his face.
Like, oh, okay, he's leaving.
Yeah, dude, and that again like it's just something like I just like it was like it was very it was like when I watched King of Staten Island, and, like, there were just, like, certain things where I was like, "Damn, this rings so true
Mhm.
to me," and, I don't know what that really says about me, but,
The whole thing that kicks it off is the drinking festival that the high schoolers do. It's like
yeah,
this like relay race that they do while they drink like a 12 pack of beers while on a relay race or something, right?
so bad for you.
So wild. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's a crazy movie.
It's crazy, but it's crazy in all the fantastic ways, and it's not crazy like Nicolas Cage crazy or anything. It's crazy like
Crazy accomplishment of art, I
yeah.
think.
Oh my god, and that scene when I love the correlation of that guy, his son keeps, peeing on him, and then he does the same thing once he's fucked up, and he's trying to get himself up from the bed, and he just keeps pulling things off, like, dude, like that, like, there were just so many scenes like
He's
that where
not
I was
even
like
clear. Yeah, he's supposed to be cleaning, but he's not even trying. He's just
yeah,
pulling everything down on top of him.
like, dude, I've been there. I haven't pissed in the bed, but I have fallen off my bed and tried to
Mhm.
get all and I
One of the worst things I've ever done, I think because I had the CBD drink as well, but one of the worst things was I kind of got blacked out after a concert one time when I was visiting a friend, and I was staying at her place, and I thought I was at my house, and I usually just take it like a big round and use the bathroom. But when I do that at her place, I'm in the corner of her room and I'm peeing in her laundry bin.
oh, Elijah.
Doing it. Luckily, there was only like a couple pieces of clothing in her laundry, but I peed in a laundry bin, and it it was so embarrassing because I didn't know I did it after because I woke up like after during her freak out and I was already done. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I guess I had started cleaning and I kind of got understood what she was saying, but I was like wiping a different part of the floor. She was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cleaning it up." She's like, "No," and I didn't know what I did until the next day too. Like I woke up the next morning and she had gone to work, and I was like, "Oh no!" I didn't see her for like a few hours, and I was just sitting there, just humiliated. I was like, "Oh no!" That's probably the worst thing I've done when I've drank too much.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine a drunk Elijah. You and I, when we saw each other, we had a few drinks. I was drinking more than you.
Yeah, a couple beers. Yeah.
So what about you watched the Kid
I
Detective?
watched Kid Detective,
Oh,
and
dude, tell me.
good movies are good movies. And Kid Detective, right from the get go, 30 seconds in, I was like, I already like this movie so much more just because of its for my eyes. It was like this is
Uh-huh.
easier to watch. It's righting all the wrongs that I had seen earlier in the last few films of this year, and I was like, this. I could tell from the beginning that this movie was going to be something very special because of the way it looked. Right from the beginning, I compared it to The Little Things, which I also watched this year, and I was like, this is just a way better intro than The Little Things because they basically set up the both movies set up the same way of a car and like a girl. And I was like, this movie's doing it right. Everything so far. It reminded me. Did you ever see a movie called Brick?
Hell yeah. Yep. I rewatched Brick immediately after.
Yeah, it's that noir feeling that's just only a couple. Like it feels like a novelization in a very good way. Under the Silver Lake tried to do it in a way, and I like that one a lot actually. But
Bloated.
it feels longer than those than Brick
Yeah.
and this one. But
And
that's
it's more convoluted too.
but Kid Detective is it was like a noir that you thought you knew what they would say because they would say those things earlier, but they wouldn't say them over and over in the way of they would subvert you in a lot of ways with the dialogue, and I loved it. Like randomly when he walks in and this receptionist is like, "You doing okay?" Usually the detective's like, "It's been a rough day," or something, is like disgruntled to it. But he just walks in, he's like, "Forgot to brush my teeth this morning." He just continues to walk in. And I was like, but that's like, that really sucks sometimes. And there's like, there's these little things that I really loved about it. And I think Adam Brody just nailed the nuance of
So
this
good.
character of like, because yeah, you were right. Of like, I haven't seen him front and center in a movie, and
No.
I don't even know what movies, because he was big in like the early 2000s from the OC. This Kid Detective made me want to watch the OC and see what Adam Brody is like, because I really want to know more about Adam Brody, because this is his first like executive producing thing too.
I had no idea that was the guy that did The Dirties, because The Dirties it's a rough movie, very very rough movie to watch, but it's really good, and it makes sense because they do the same thing in The Dirties that they did in The Kid Detective.
They like ride a really thin line of like, this is really real, but it takes you out for a moment because there's like humor and stuff, or something that brings you down to earth.
You can't see where the hell it's going to, and once it happens, you're like, it's so, it makes sense, and it's like it's fucking genius, especially The Kid Detective. That ending is absolutely insane.
It's a mystery. It's a real mystery that you have to see unfold. The thing that I really like, he mentions it already in the movie, of saying like head versus reality, and differentiating like what you think of yourself and what you're actually capable of and stuff. And that's a huge theme throughout the whole thing.
I love that they made him a pathetic, very very pathetic kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
Like once he ultimately starts lying to the person who's paying him, he's like, yeah, that's paparazzi, even though it's his parents. And the kid, the younger kid, I don't remember his character's name, but that whole exchange between them was so good. The one that he interviews about, he's cheating on you, and he like leans in, he's like, "You put his dick in her mouth," and he's like, there's words for that, and she's like, "I didn't want to sound grotesque." That actor was so good. I loved that actor. I was like, I want to see. He seemed like he was talented beyond his age, because I couldn't tell how old he was.
I have a lot to say about the ending of like how it's so genius how they wrap everything up with what happened in the beginning to the end. All right, all right, all right. From this point on, spoilers. Please, 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 for the love of God, if you have not seen The Kid Detective, do not watch this, or like, do not watch any further.
Yeah, you should have done your homework.
It's truly one of the greatest plot twists I've ever seen in my entire life. So, in the beginning of The Kid Detective, he is a kid detective, and his receptionist, right, was this girl that he.
Was it the mayor's daughter?
Yeah, yeah, the mayor's daughter, right? And she gets kidnapped, and she's missing. And it's the only case he did not solve, and so that's the first half, and that's the reason why he's in this funk. And then this girl, this high school girl, comes to him like 20 or so years later, saying that her boyfriend was murdered, stabbed a bunch of times, and dumped in a river, and if he can solve it. And it turns out those two mysteries, the murder and the kidnapping, are one of the same.
Because one of his first cases was solving something for the principal.
Yeah,
And the
because he's the principal, right?
Yeah,
or he's the assistant principal.
He is the principal.
He is the principal.
He is the evil principal.
Yeah, evil as fuck. So it turns out that he kidnapped the little girl from the beginning, has kept her in the shed for 20 odd years, and he murdered this girl's boyfriend because he wanted to pursue with her. And the way that he finds out is because of this tulip that he, this paper tulip. He finds it in her locker, and he remembered that the girl from the beginning got the same thing, and so he was like, he puts the way that he puts things together is, because at first when he's at the house and everything, because the movie does not lay out everything for you.
No, nothing is verbally explained until it's
explained. Yeah, and the way that they do it too, it's not like it didn't feel heavy-handed. It was like total. It was I was so scared. I was terrified once, like, and that actor too. I don't know who that actor was who plays the creepy principal, but he was fucking fantastic Like that was like some chilling, and then he kills himself too, which is just absolutely, oh god, oh man, I'm getting chills just by thinking about it. And yeah, then he goes, that scene when he goes into the shed too, and he lets her out, and she's like, isn't she pregnant?
She's no, she's just not malnourished. Probably just not eating
Yeah.
correct.
Oh
You can
man.
tell she's a little messed up, but and the way he like figures it out is because he has this dialogue. There's a lot of little dialogue that happens with the principal. It's like um, when he admits that he stole her, he is like he figures it out because the principal was the first one to ask the kid detective to solve this crime. To see he's like, you wanted to see how I would solve something and see my patterns and stuff. So that's, and then a week later the girl goes missing, and that's how he figured it out. He was just like,
Mhm.
and he's like, you figured it out, and he's like, congratulations, you solved your first murder. And that's a thing throughout the whole movie. They're asking, well, how many murders have you solved? And he's like, none, until he eventually lies. But they a lot of people end up asking him when he's investigating, like, well, how many cases were murders? And he has to say zero. But the thing that is really cool is he says you solved your first murder, which gives him like he gives him a couple minutes to like sit on that. And they could have been like straight on the head about it, but he just thinks about it for a little bit and then walks out to the shed and opens it and realizes the girl is alive. Because he's like, if he said first murder, that means he didn't kill the mayor's daughter.
Mhm.
And it's that one, he only says that once. They don't like repeat it in his mind. They don't like do an old voiceover. That's the beauty of like a good noir like sleuth is like, and that's what differentiates I think noir from just like a generic like mystery movie is like the voiceovers of like they probably would have replayed that over and over and over again
Yeah.
of like you solved your first murder, first murder, first murder, and he's just
Mhm.
sitting there, first murder, and he's like, she didn't die, and then he would just, and then it would have been ruined. But the fact that they carry everything out to have you experience it first rather than have them say it is really amazing. This
Yeah, it
movie
doesn't
wants you to
it
experience it.
treats its audience with respect. It's just like Brick,
Yeah,
like,
it
where it's
reveals
just
rather
like,
than tells.
yeah. And even when it does tell, it's not cheap, and it doesn't feel lazy. It
Mhm,
feels like it's very well put together.
mhm.
And yeah, no, the Kid Detective really threw me off, because I remember when you sent me the trailer, and it's a really short trailer where you don't really get a lot,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, this could be really good. But then I was hearing like when the reviews came out, and they just kept on talking about like, you are not going to believe this ending. Like they
I didn't
kept on
know it
talking
was
about
that
it's a
dark. I did not know.
shocking ending.
I was expecting like a quirky
I was
brick,
too.
like PG-13 quirky brick, but then I realized, oh, this is hard R.
Yeah. Dude, I love the last shot too. Like he just completely breaks down to his
Yeah,
parents.
I think that ending was insane when he just started crying. When it started
So
to move
good.
in on him crying, I was like, this is the end. This is over. It's not going to have anything else after this. Please don't have anything else after this. And it didn't. And
Yep.
I think that the a lot of that movie is just like about instant gratification from him.
Hmm.
He's like his whole life was instant gratification of like
Yep.
case to case to case to case. It's like,
Getting free ice cream.
and then yeah, free ice cream whenever. And then finally he solves this case that took 20 years of his life of his just on his heart, just thinking about it. And it's like it was never solved and it was never easily accessible. And finally he reaches that accomplishment, quote unquote, of saving her in a way, but she's because she's still alive. But yeah, it just shows that the gratification of work and stuff isn't always fulfillment. And
Yeah.
that's what I think a huge thing about that movie is just another layer of that movie is so beautiful.
Oh, it's a great it's a fantastic coming of age film.
Mhm,
And that's the great thing. I found it to be more of a coming of age film than
mhm,
a detective story, because this guy is just like just in a crazy rut where
mhm,
he's in so much denial, and then how he just stumbles on, and he doesn't really stumble, like like again, this is very meticulous, it's really well made, but how
mhm,
he does stumble on this thing in his past that really kind of ruined him,
mhm,
and that uh, brought him into this funk, how he was able to confront that and solve that, and get that, like you said, that gratification again. and respect from his parents, from his from the ice cream man.
Yeah.
It's really 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 good, and Adam Brody is fantastic. I don't know why he doesn't get that's the thing, he has a lot of roles. Like he's been in so many movies. He's a great supporting, yeah, he's a great supporting actor, or a great, not even like, he does like a lot of just like random scene movies, like
Does like,
cameos.
yeah, cameos as Adam Brody.
Yeah, which is, it's just odd, but I really 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 love that actor, and I think this movie is going to show a lot of people that it's like that he's a really really good talented actor. I am curious to see what the director is going to do next, because with the Dirties and this, I think that this, like it's good. Like man,
He's en route. Yeah.
it's going to be so good, because again, the way that he balances tone, like
He
how
wrote.
he
It
balances
took him
comedy.
7 years to write that movie.
I believe it.
Yeah, Kid Detective was a good recommendation. I'm glad that I finally watched that. It was on my list right away. I wanted to see.
Do Another Round was a great recommendation too. Like I couldn't believe how much I already knew. I saw the trailer. Matt and I saw the trailer together, and we were both like, "Damn, this looks like it's gonna be fucking fantastic." But it kind of fell off my radar until you started talking about it with me, and yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
glad that I finally watched it, because it really is one of the best, if not the best movie of 2020.
yeah. I think I want to put Kid Detective on my list for 2020
Yeah,
because I didn't get to see it in 2020, but it would be on my list if I had seen it.
yeah, we should do a top 10.
2020. We could do a recap, yeah, real quick. Probably sooner than later before it gets halfway through the year.
What's your rating for Kid Detective?
It was very good. I would probably rate it 4.8 or out of 5 probably. It's
Really?
rewatchable. It's probably I would probably find out more stuff about it. I like the acting, the directing, the writing. I liked everything about it. There's nothing that I didn't really not like about it, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's hard to not find it.
I gave Another Round a 5 out of 5. It was like easy. Like once it was done, I was like, this is a perfect movie. Like there was not one part that I did not like.
Yeah, I would give it up there too. Like I love that movie. That's
Yeah,
such a good movie.
I would probably give Kid Detective a 4 out of 5, only because I that the ending's really disturbing.
Yeah, I don't want to give any homework. Technically, just kind of some extra credit because you had the idea of revisiting some old nostalgic factor movies, and you wanted to start with Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century. You want to revisit the future of Zenon.
Well, me and my friend Raina Jackson, we watched Zenon because we were like just going through Disney Channel or Disney Plus, and I was just looking at the Disney Channel original movies, and I saw that, and I was like, dude, Zenon, the Girl of the 21st Century, and she
Mhm.
was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so we watched it, and it's like immediately I was like, oh, dude, Elijah and we have to do this. Like this is. I think I texted you immediately.
You're like DCOM classics. We're gonna revisit Disney Channel
Yeah.
original movies. I was like, okay, yeah. And you're like Zenon, first one. I'm like, okay, yes. So
Especially like there's so much I want to say about Zenon.
So join us for that, where we visit the nostalgia future of Zenon Girl of the 21st Century.
Yeah, and dude, there's so many. The best part about DComs is that there's just so fucking many. You know, Eddie's $1 Million Cookout.
Eddie's $1 Million Cookout. That's the next one I feel like we should do.
Oh my god, or Smart House.
Smart House, yes.
Dude, when I had my YouTube channel, I did October reviews, and originally I was going to just do Halloween Town, and then I was going to do other Halloween movies. But then I realized Disney Channel did so many Halloween movies, and so I just stuck it with, I did Under Wraps, Halloween, all the Halloween Towns.
Disney's making every movie twice, so we're gonna have endless content.
Oh hell yeah, dude! No, I can talk about DComs for forever. Like I absolutely love Disney Channel original movies because they're so stupid.
Well, I hope you join us next week for History of Popcorn. Check out our Willy's Wonderland review on YouTube, and follow us on everything social media. And Zenon, that's going to be our extra credit. Hope you revisit it before then. Justin, what do you have to say?
Say please follow us on our social media. Watch From the Dark too on Amazon. The sound isn't the best, but look at how I'm living. The lighting isn't that good. The sound isn't that good, but hey, it's a picture.
It's a picture.
Yeah. I just say to everybody, whenever I'm like, watch From the Dark, and they're like, oh, it kind of looks cheap. I'm like, oh yeah, how many movies have you made?
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to say. Not many people have done that. And yeah, From the Dark. We'll be talking about. We're gonna talk about that a lot. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, no, I'm excited for it too, because actually I do have news about From the Dark involving stuff. I can't really legally talk about it, but I'm sure some people know the backstory.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some updates.
All right. Love you, Elijah. I'm now gonna run to work.
Real fast, Ricky. Real fast.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. I'll see you next week. Zenon, everything. History of Popcorn. Bye, guys.
Bye. Are we gonna do Sherlock Holmes 3?